Welcome Amakhosi Network, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be chatting about a very sensitive topic that has been coming up, and Chiefs fans need to understand what I'm talking about, and that is Kaizer Chiefs senior team versus DDC team. A lot of fans are starting to have this conversation or starting to say that the DDC players should be playing for the senior team because they see what they're doing in the DDC team, etc. And I am here to address that. But before I address that, please like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, let's get down to it. A lot of you guys are busy going out there and are saying that, no, there's players in the DDC who should be playing for the senior team. Most of the players in the DDC must play for the senior team because those boys in the DDC, they look like they're hungry, etc. But you are the same people who forget Guti Samkelo Zwane, Dushabalala, Ramoshu, Bontle Molefe. All of these guys have always been doing well for the DDC. The only difference is that when they get to the first team, they get caught out for the things that they are lacking. And they get caught out that they are playing with much stronger people, older people. Because there's one thing I always say. It's very easy to play against people your age. It's very, very easy to play people your age, especially at a young age. But the problem comes in when you are 19, 20, and you want to go play against 30-year-olds, etc., more experienced players, and not a lot of people. Yes, a lot of you are going to say, but look at Nkota, look at Rele. Guys, Nkota and Rele play for a team that is winning. They don't play for a team that's struggling. Show me a youngster right now who's playing for a team that's struggling and is coming across as if they're the best in the league. The youngster does not exist. But if I had to grab Rele today and put him in Marumo Gallants, yes, he would still be a quality player. But the problem is that because Marumo Gallants or whoever who is at the bottom of the log would be so bad, it's like he would be like, that boy has potential, but you wouldn't be able to see his goals and assists every week just because of the team around him would suck. So that's the problem with these things, that Chiefs right now has a bad team. And I have something that I want to warn people about, is that we must not forget, there's one thing a lot of you are forgetting, is that Nabi, Nazreddin Nabi is our current coach. Our current coach is failing to make the players who are playing for Chiefs now play. He's failing to make these players play. Do you know what's going to happen when the DDC players come? They're not going to play the football they are playing in DDC. No, they're not going to play that football. When those DDC players come into the first team, you know what football they're going to be forced to play? They're going to be forced to play Nabi ball. And Nabi ball is going to hurt those players because Nabi ball has holes and it has problems. Nabi ball needs players that are years ahead of these guys. Nabi ball, let me give you context. Serino, as great as Serino is, he is on and off on this Nabi ball system. He's on and off. He's not really shining. First few games he was shining, but he's on and off. You can't tell if he's coming or going. This is what Nabi ball is, guys. Nabi ball needs to be played with star-studded players. You cannot just play with average players in Nabi ball because Nabi ball does not cater for average players. Nabi is the kind of coach who can only coach star players. And my problem is that when you guys want to throw in these youngsters into this Nabi ball, these boys who don't even understand professional football as yet, as because they don't play it week in, week out. They don't understand tactics. They don't understand all these things. And then you take these boys and you make them play with players like Yusuf Mat and all these players that you guys cry about every week. Nabi will put them in the same field with these boys. And then these boys are going to look very average. So my thing is that let's keep the DDC, that it's all like the season is finished now. Let these DDC players finish their season. Hopefully they win the league. Let them finish. But next season, yes, you can incorporate these young players into the first team and start training with them when Nabi gets his new players, etc. But right now, because of how bad Chiefs is, putting these youngsters is going to put unnecessary pressure on these youngsters. And these youngsters are already doing well. They've gained momentum. They're playing really well. You know, if Chiefs was their season in the DDC, if they were not on top of the log in the DDC, I would actually say then Chiefs must play the youngsters, because then they're not really playing for anything in the DDC. But because they are playing for something in the DDC, I feel it wouldn't be fair for us to break that up just because we want Nabi to try one of those players. But that time, Nabi won't even play those players. You know why? Because Nabi has favorites. A lot of you guys were like, Ntando Yenkosi is ready for senior football, is ready for senior football. Let me tell you what will happen. Ntando Yenkosi will be removed from DDC. Yeah? Let's make this thing very obvious. Let's pick the two players that a lot of you are speaking about the most. Ntando Yenkosi, let three, Makubo, and Hlongwane. Those three. Let's say they get promoted to the senior team. Do you know what's the problem that's going to happen to Kaizer Chiefs once these boys are promoted to the senior team? Let me explain to you. Number one, Ntando Yenkosi will sit bench because Nabi cannot bench Yusuf Mat. So Yusuf Mat will still play, Thabo Cele will still play each and every game, and Ntando Yenkosi maybe will get 10 minutes like Mfundo Vilakazi to play because Nabi is going to say he's protecting him. So now instead of Ntando Yenkosi continuing to play full games in the DDC, he'll be sitting bench and maybe getting 5 or 10 minutes in Kaizer Chiefs. Next player, Makubo. Makubo plays more on the right, similar to how Lollipop plays, or sometimes he can play somewhat of an 8, etc. But that's a problem, because it's either he has to play that Lollipop position, or he has to go in that number 8 role, which is going to be handled by Mad or Thabo Cele. So you see, Makubo will sit bench. Another player sitting bench instead of playing for DDC. Next player, Hlongwane. Nabi likes playing these kakla defenders. The only reason we are seeing Dupree and Duba a lot these days is because Tashreeq Morris is injured. Let Tashreeq Morris come back and get healthy. Hlongwane will sit bench. Why? Why would Hlongwane sit bench? Because Hlongwane is the same type of footballer as Duba. So it's going to probably be Hlongwane. It's going to probably be Tashreeq Morris, Duba, and then between Dupree and Naledi Hlongwane, that will happen. So what does that mean? Hlongwane will most likely be sitting on the bench most times. Now my problem is, I don't want us to promote a player just for that player to sit bench. If you're going to promote this player, let him play. Mfundo Vilakazi doing well at national team, scoring vital goals for Chiefs, but the boy cannot break into the team. He can't. The boy can't even, Nabi will always say he's protecting Mfundo. Mfundo can't play 90 minutes. It's fine. Give us 45. Okay? Give us 45 with Mfundo Vilakazi. He doesn't have to play the 90, but this thing of bringing him last minutes, the last game we lost against Golden Arrows, Nabi brought Mfundo Vilakazi on the 83rd minute. And the question I asked when Nabi brought Mfundo Vilakazi is, this boy does not have enough time to make a difference in this game. Yes, he's going to have good movements, etc. But he won't have enough time to make moves or to try to make things happen. You guys are going to expect him to do it in his first 2 touches in the game. That's unrealistic. You need to give him more time to get more options, to find the right chance. And on top of that, when you come from the bench, you so often need to settle into the pace of the game. And when that doesn't happen, you just are someone with energy, but your energy is not resulting in anything. So this is my problem with Nabi and people asking for DDC players. DDC players, you cannot just throw a DDC player just all willy-nilly, especially with a coach who is struggling. Literally, Nabi was in the press conference and he said nothing is working. This was Nabi. This is our coach. He says we must give him patience because right now nothing is working. So when nothing is working, imagine with a coach who has no plan. What is he going to do with youngsters? He's going to break them. He's going to break them because he's going to put them in formations that don't fit their position. For example, Nabi is the kind of coach who will grab Amakhosi and make him play a 10. He's not a 10. Nabi is the kind of coach who will grab Makubo and go and make him play left back. Nabi is the kind of coach who will find Naledi Hlongwane and make him go play right wing. This is the Nabi we are talking about. He will change these players' positions, and then these players won't do well in that game, and then he's going to say they're not ready, but he's not playing them in the position they like. A key example of this is Sereno has been at his best when he plays at left wing. But for whatever reason, Nabi wants to play him at right wing and Lollipop at left wing when we start games. And I'm like, but it's a waste. Sereno is best at left. Let's keep it that way. First 45 minutes playing there. I don't mind people switching in between games, but Sereno's primary position must be on the left wing. But no, Nabi does not care about those things. Nabi just wants to experiment, I guess, because I guess he's trying to experiment with Lollipop to see if Lollipop can cut in and take shots. But it's like, no, but Sereno can create the shots. But anyway, Amakhosi.